2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is obvious from listening to the prior comments of this great resolution that Paul Newman touched a lot of parts of America, his birthplace in Ohio, the time he spent obviously in Hollywood making movies, Tennessee, other places. But he did, for the last half of his life, live in Westport, Connecticut, a place that our state was always glad to embrace him and his wonderful wife, Joanne Woodward. He was somebody who, in the state of Connecticut, was usually seen in jeans and casual clothes, probably even having a libation now and then at community events, very low-key, and never really looking to draw attention to himself. It's been mentioned earlier the great work that he did founding the Hole in the Wall gang, which was an extraordinary accomplishment even just in the latter stage of his life. And the first camp which he found was in Ashford, Connecticut, in eastern Connecticut, a 30-acre farm by the Harkaley family. Again, a place where children suffering chronic, in many cases crushing illnesses, were able to come and actually enjoy life as a summer camper, which otherwise would never ever have been possible. And I just wanted to share a description by one of the boards of directors about when Paul Newman would show up at the camp, because he didn't just go through the motions in terms of leaving using his name, but actually appeared many instances to participate in camp activities. He loved to talk about the little kids who had no clue who he was, the friendly old guy who kept showing up at camp to take them fishing. While their counselors stammered starstruck, the campers indulged Newman the way they would have indulged a particularly friendly hospital blood technician. It took me years to understand why Newman loved being at the Hole in the Wall gang camp. It was for precisely the same reason these kids did. When the campers showed up, they became regular kids, despite the catheters and the wheelchairs and the prosthetic legs. And when Newman showed up, he was a regular guy with blue eyes, despite the Oscar and the race cars and the burgeoning marinara empire. The most striking thing about Paul Newman was that a man who could have blasted through life demanding, "Have you any idea who I am?" invariably wanted to hang out with the folks, often the little ones who neither knew or cared. Again, I want to applaud Mr. Cohen for bringing this extraordinary measure and calling our members for unanimous support.